Without further ado, let me change into my show attire and we can kick it off.
Into your heart, then would I know just where to start. 'Cause I'm lost and I need to be found. Crazy as it sounds, I need you around. Could stand to be on my own, then I would probably just leave you alone. But I'm gonna feel this way till I'm 6 feet underground. Crazy as it sounds, I need you around. Turning, tossing and turning, my love is burning me down. If I could change one thing in this world, I'd change your mind and make you my girl. 'Cause I'm lost and I need to be found. Crazy as it sounds, I need you around. I'm gonna feel this way till I'm 6 feet underground. Crazy as it sounds, I need you around. I need you around. I need you around. I need you around.
Thank you. That was Smoking Popes. We're going to play 3 songs here to warm you up. You might know this next one. Has anyone seen the movie Fast Times at Ridgemont High? This is for the 80s babies in the audience. Well, just look at that girl with the lights going up in her eyes. She's gotta be somebody's baby. She must be somebody's baby. All the guys on the corner stand back and let her walk on by. She's gotta be somebody's baby. She must be somebody's baby. She's gotta be somebody's baby. She's so fine. She's probably somebody's only light gonna shine tonight. Yeah, she's probably somebody's baby, alright. I heard her talking with a friend when she thought nobody else was around. She thought she'd be somebody's baby. Yeah, she's gotta be somebody's baby. 'Cause when the cars and the signs and the streetlights light up the town, she's gotta be somebody's baby. She must be somebody's baby. She's gotta be somebody's baby. She's so fine. She's gonna be somebody's only light, gonna shine tonight. Yeah, she's gotta be somebody's baby tonight. I try to shut my eye, but I can't get her out of my mind. I know I'm gonna know her, but I gotta get over my fright. I'm gonna walk up to her, I'm gonna talk to her tonight. Yeah, ooh. Yeah, she's probably somebody's only light, gonna shine tonight. Yeah, she's gonna be somebody's baby, alright. She's probably somebody's only light, gonna shine tonight. Yeah, she's gonna be somebody's baby, alright. Gonna shine tonight, make her mine tonight. Ah, ooh. Gonna shine tonight, make her mine tonight. Love that song. So those first two were love songs, and this is like a kind of love song.
This is a love song?
Yeah.
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 It's about someone wanting to love you forever.
Yeah. It's healthy.
Make up your mind. Decide to walk with me around the lake tonight. Around the lake tonight. By my side. By my side. I'm not gonna lie. I'll not be a gentleman behind the boathouse. I'll show you my dark secret. I'm not gonna lie. I want you for my blushing bride, my lover, be my lover, yeah. Don't be afraid, I didn't mean to scare you, so help me Jesus. I can promise you, you'll stay as beautiful with dark hair and soft skin make up your mind. Make up your mind, and I'll promise you I will treat you well, my sweet angel. So help me, Jesus. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Give it up to me. Give it up to me. Do you wanna be my angel? Give it up to me. Give it up to me. Do you wanna be my angel? Give it up to me. Give it up to me. Do you wanna be my angel? So help me. Be my angel. Be my angel. Be my angel. Do you wanna die? 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 And I promise you I will treat you well, my sweet angel. So help me, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Thank you all for that, man. I heard some sick cheers in the audience. Give it up for Dwight and Jeff. That was awesome. I think you'll see that that song was really appropriate when you hear the content of what our storytellers, so some of them are sharing tonight. But sincerely, thank you all so much for being at this show. Welcome to Mortified. I know you had a lot of choices of things that you could be doing tonight, and from the bottom of my heart, thank you all for being here instead of going to see Madam Web. I know that you all just can't wait. I'll tell you, this show is also a part of Sony's extended Spider-Man universe. Spider-Man will not be in it, but for many of our speakers tonight, we will be discussing canon events. So it's a little joke for some of you guys who saw Spider-Verse. That movie is awesome. So who has been to Mortified before? Amazing. Is anybody new here? That's even better. So we always do a show around Valentine's Day because, you know, Valentine's Day just ties in so well thematically with what our show is about. But it's very rare we get to do one on actual Valentine's Day. In fact, the last time we did that was February 14th, 2020. I don't know if they're yeah. You guys you want to know something? You want to hear some of my shame? I opened a restaurant on that day. That's absolutely true. Absolutely true. I'm not there anymore. Someone bought it. It's fine. Anyway, how about that? So this is a great date activity. It's also a great activity for people who are resentful of not having dates. I'm really curious though, is anyone here on a first date? I'd like you to cheer really loud. Uncomfortably loud. So loud the person you're here with is I don't know if this is a good idea. That's awesome. I hope for just a brief second you experience just a little bit of ooh, cringe and shame, because that's what the whole show is about. That's what we are here to celebrate and exercise tonight, everybody. This is a show about shame. It's about sharing shame, and it's about getting it out of our own individual bodies, because we have all done things that we would look back on and say, oh man, why did I do that? Why was I like that? Where the hell did that come from? And so what you're going to hear are absolutely true things that our 6 presenters created as teenagers when they were in their cringiest years, and they're going to share them all with you, and then we're all going to feel their shame together, and we're going to help them exercise it out of this room, right? It's going to be awesome. And so with that said, I would like everybody to please put your hands together for these 6 people who are about to get mortified.
Hi, I'm Skylar, and in 1995, I'm 12. Don't do the math. In 1995, I wear crushed velvet shirts, butterfly clips in my hair, and bright, chunky plastic rings. I own fishnets that I'm too scared to wear. In 1995, I listened to oldies. I also really like Nine Inch Nails. In 1995, I'm 12. I have braces and debilitating insecurity. It will be another 14 years until I ask a boy out. No math, please. In 1995, I keep a journal. The journal's name is Lee. Anne Frank named her journal, and so do I, damn it. And as the summer waned in that pivotal year of my life, something happened to me that changed forever the landscape of my dreams and the architecture of my brain. On August 22nd, I saw the best movie ever made, Interview with the Vampire. You know, the one with Brad Pitt as the moody Louis Pondulac and Tom Cruise as party boy Lestat and a young Kirsten Dunst as the tragic child vampire Claudia. If you haven't seen this movie, I sincerely hope this reading changes that. August 22nd, 1995. Dear Lee. Well, that was the best movie I ever watched. I wish I were older and I was a vampire back in the 1700s with Lestat and Louis, and I would want Louis to be my lover. I just want so much to be held and kissed. I want to be in love. Dear Lee, I hate to say it, but I'm in love with Brad Pitt. I want to be held and kissed by him. Sometimes I pretend his cheek is up against mine. I think just touching his hand would be nice. And you know what? Just like everything else, this will be kept so close to me and never revealed to another. That wasn't funny until right now. It's yet another one of my secrets and dreams. I can think about him whenever I want to, and no one will know. Thought is the most powerful force on earth. I'm glad I possess it. Dear Lee, the OJ trial is almost over now. Finally, it's been going on for over a year now. How sick. I still dream about Louis making love to me every night. Dear Lee, oh man, orthodontist appointment. He just pulled my tooth out with his fingers. My gums bled a lot today. I was wondering about vampires. If someone hit a really beautiful, sexy woman in the mouth so she was bleeding a lot, what would a vampire think? Wow. There are a lot of unanswered questions about vampires. Truly interesting creatures. I respect them. Dear Lee, tonight we went to Blockbuster. We were going to rent To Kill a Mockingbird. I remember my dad saying, now if they have it, we can get IV, as I'll phrase it. Oh, God, moment of moments, beautiful. Do you know what that means, Lee? Don't you? Interview with the Vampire. When we were there, I ran for it. You could not imagine how I felt thinking it would be all out. Nope. There were many available copies left. Lee, that night we put in To Kill a Mockingbird. I must say, it was a very nice movie. The book was better. But that movie was like a beggar to a prince compared to, shall we say, IV. Perhaps this movie was meant for me. I have so longed to be a creature of the night and to live and thrive on darkness. When the movie was over, we were silent. I knew that Dad hadn't liked it. As he later, my dad's here, by the way. As he later today said, I thought that movie was just so dreary. I told him that indeed it was not an uplifting movie, and he said, yeah, I could tell. Well, that movie was made for me and not for him. I wonder when I'll see it again. Probably not for a long time. I have to buy that movie when I'm grown up, when no one can tell me if they approve or not. Dear Lee, I got another insult from Dad about IV. He's a jerk sometimes. I don't bother him about his stupid movies, so why does he bother me about mine, especially when they're so important? Somehow, we were talking about dreams. I said, I have lots of Interview with the Vampire dreams, and they always suck. And then stupid Dad said, so to speak. I don't even know what that meant. But I know it was an insult to my favorite movie. So a year from now, I'm going to ask him what that means. I'm going to interject here to say that by this point, I had the movie poster of Interview with the Vampire like tacked up to the ceiling above my bed. So it was indeed the last thing I saw before sleeping and the first thing I saw when I woke up in the morning. Dear Lee, well, it's Valentine's Day, and it seems like no one cares about me. No one's even said, Happy Valentine's Day to me. Lee, I yearn for the familiar warmth of Interview with the Vampire. I think I like Lestat over Lewis now. Or both of them. They're so untamed and beautiful, so real, but not human. Something silk I can touch. Where are they? Dear Lee, on Tuesday, I played the soundtrack to Interview with the Vampire. Just listening to the music made my heart grow heavy and my throat close. It gave me this eerie feeling like I was walking alone down a completely isolated street in the middle of the night. I felt this feeling in my lungs, too. The funny thing is, no matter how the music changes in my mind, causing so much strange pain, I didn't want to turn it off. Listening to the music was like opening a door to another world and looking through. My world. Silk, night, blood, leisure, pain, love, paleness, richness, color, and darkness. I think that's the closest I've ever gotten to explaining Interview with a Vampire. Dear Lee, I am a new person with a new soul and new desires. My friend Asa, God bless him, have given me the video of the so many times mentioned Interview with a Vampire. Yes, I own it. I received it on what is now recorded as the best day of my life at 6:02 p.m. Ever since every minute I've had the house to myself, I have watched it. I was able to see the whole thing yesterday, watching it and stopping it at 4 different times. 4:49 to 5:06, 5:10 to 5:31, 8:13 to 9:19, 9:43 to 9:51. This is an historical day in my life. I was never so overcome with beauty. Never so, oh gosh, never so wanting to embrace the being of this life, the colors, the characters, the film. The most amazing thing was that I swear for a split second, I made eye contact with Louis. It was like he looked straight into me. It was after Lestat bit him for the second time. There's just something about that movie that touches me and affects me more than anything. So I'll interject again here to say that shortly after I received this VHS, which I had to hide from my parents, of course, things took a slight turn. Dear Lee, I watched The Fugitive tonight. It's my third time. While I was watching it, I saw a preview for Mission Impossible, and there was Tom Cruise, jumping onto futuristic objects and making things explode. The funny thing is, I feel like I know him. Lestat, but not Lestat. I mean, him. I really didn't know who he was until IV in August, but now he's huge. I see him everywhere. I read about him everywhere. I don't know him, but I do. I know the movie personality that everyone sees. I would like to talk to him. It would be very pleasant, like, I don't know, enjoying a bit of unthinkable pleasure through a straw. Dear Lee, I saw the most incredible movie on Saturday the 24th, Mission Impossible. God! I love it more than anything, and Tom Cruise is just so sexy. I can't take it anymore. God, just one long kiss. Anyway, so far in my life, there have only been 2 obsessive movies for me, Jurassic Park and Interview with the Vampire, and I think it's time to add a third. I don't know what this means. Does this mean I'm over it? Oh my God, I don't miss it at all right now. I'm just thinking, mission, cruise. God damn it, he's married. I hate all this stuff about, ooh, he's in a cult. Like, if he's not burning down houses and killing people, I don't care. I just love him. I found a really sweet picture of him and Nicole. She was in this beautiful dress, and he was kissing her on the cheek. That's so sweet. You can totally tell they really care about each other. I love both of them. But Tom's my guy. Well, this is an historical event in my life, and it must be recorded. Saw Mission Impossible, Saturday, May 24th, 1996 at 8:15 p.m. So tonight, it's Valentine's Day, 2024. I'm like older. Don't do the math. It's 2024, and I regret to tell you that neither Brad Pitt nor Tom Cruise nor their vampire avatars ever made sweet, sweet love to me. But I am happily married to a real-life flesh and blood human. Yes. He's here too. I do talk to boys now, and I do wear fishnets when I want to. I'm not mortified by my 8th grade vampire obsession at all, despite the title of this show. Some stories deserve unbridled obsession. Some stories make being a shy and lonely kid bearable. And anyway, given the choice of an 8th grade boy with a bowl cut and Brad Pitt in a frock coat, I mean, seriously, who would you choose? Happy Valentine's Day.
Nice to meet you. Hope you guess my name. But what's puzzling you is the nature of my game.
Hey. Hi, I'm already laughing, that's good. I'm Shyler. That was Skylar. I've been called Skylar most of my life, but it's a sh sound. Although in the journal I'm going to be going over now, circa 2002, 2004, you'll actually see me or hear me sign off using my first name, which is Amy. Other than that tidbit, it's worth calling out one additional key fact about Amy. She's super Christian. Like scheduling an hour and a half in her school planner to pray really hard. Never said. Also, a big fan of writing down quotes that she likes. That'll come up later. Don't know what I was praying about. It was something. And also trying to convert her dad to Christianity while he tries to buy tomatoes in a grocery store level Christian at 9 years old. K-Love Radio, devotional books, and Veggie Tales raised me level Christian. I don't know if there's anyone out there, but I feel you and I see you even though I can't. The Christian fandom showed up a lot in my life, like my journal, I guess it's not in quotes, but I christened it my prayer book. All entries, unlike Skylar, were addressed to God. And I even set up a color-coded pen system with God so he would know what mood I was in when I was writing. In case you're wondering, the options were happy, sad, mad, and in between. We kept it casual, though. My favorite greetings were, "Hey, God, it's me, God," and "What's up, God?" God was my constant companion, and I needed that. By the time I'd started 6th grade, I had moved 5 states and been in 5+6 schools. Outside of my stuffed animals and my cat, God was my constant. My mom always promised we were following God's path and his plan wherever that went. And by 6th grade, 2002, I had a lot to talk to God about. Hey God, as you probably overheard, Corey, my brother, lost my necklace. I'm angry and sad. That necklace meant a lot to me. So if you could find it, that would be great. I'm also happy because I got a cool present. I got a costume where a true witch could wear. It's a hat, a cape, and a wand. Well, I also just need help with a few things. 1, my farting. I hate the fact that I beat my brother at farting. Also, will I get good grades this year? I've worked really hard. Do you think I'll be a vet when I grow up? I hope so. Oh, and 2 more. Will I ever get a boyfriend? And does John like me? Sorry, 1 more. Will I ever see Lauren again? And can I get a puppy? Talk to you later, Amy. RS, which was my version of PS, which meant really sorry. You're starting to see where it's going. Okay. I didn't say it last time or this time, except for now. Can you forgive me my sins? I've been bad and I'm sorry. God was my suggestion box, my palm reader, my bestie who had all the answers and a shitty habit of never calling me back. Dear God, as you might have heard, I'm not getting a dog unless you want me to get one. I am gonna get a calico cat though. Cool, huh? Well, I guess we won't get a Norfolk Terrier, but maybe we'll get a Cairn Terrier? Well, with nothing left to discuss, can you help Corey want to see Homeward Bound with me, please? Amen. See you later, Amy. We did not get a calico cat, or Norfolk Terrier, or a Cairn Terrier puppy, if anyone was wondering. None of those animals ever came. If little me believed God had a plan, she was desperately trying to peek over God's shoulder to see what that said, and she also had some suggestions. She was desperately hoping if she was well-behaved and apologetic enough, she'd get something good. Some other entries. Hey, what's up? Of course, heaven. Anyways, what about my fashion line? Cool stuff. All right, it's fake, but I think it could go somewhere. Also, what about my book? I do really like it, or the direction it's heading. Can we get it published? I really, 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 really want it to. But you never know. How are my classes gonna turn out? G2G, Amy. Hey God, I am so stupid. All I can think about is boys, 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 boys. I think about Nick, Andrew, and Lance. I don't know if that was Lance Bass. I think Nick is a nice person and would be a good friend, and when I think of him as more than that, I just can't think of Amy Schuyler Cunningham that way with anyone. I'm frustrated between who I want to be and who I am. Will I really break boys' hearts, or will I become a businesswoman? I believe neither. Will you get me with my grades? Also, I say it every day. Will you forgive me? Amen, Amy. Speaking of boys on the brain, sorry, God, I guess you can't rely on me very much. God, why does Marie believe that I like Cody more than a friend? I mean, that's crazy. Man, my room is so hot right now. Love you, Amy, amen. Sometimes I ask more broad niche questions, like, hey, how's it going up there? Well, only you and the judges know if Canada was cheated out of the gold in the Olympics. Please have the truth come out. Thanks. I'm sorry I've sinned. Please forgive me. XOXO, Amy, amen. Another favorite is when they went a little bit maybe more selfless. Hello, what's up? That was a stupid question, wasn't it? Oh well. Hey, what am I gonna do this winter? Also, will our world ever have peace? Got to go, Amy. We're selfish-ish. We're getting there. Other times I went full pitch mode. I found out that my aunt was putting together an indie movie related to our family history, and she needed a young actor to play the role of someone in that movie. I don't know who. I went full religious Shark Tank. I was ready to make a deal, and I was gonna go to God. I was gonna plead my case. Please. It's me again. Will you help me? God, here's a big hope that I get the part in Aunt Joey's movie. Please, I'm ready. And I won't let movie making overpower me to forget my friends, you, or what's important. And if I start a new school, I can enter under a different name so people won't croon over me. It would mean the world to me. Please consider it. Also, I love you very much, and I can help your sick animals still, if I'm rich. God, please forgive me. I may not keep a list of all of my sins, but I'm without a doubt sure I have sinned, and I am sorry. Will you please forgive me? Oh, and tell Eleanor Roosevelt thanks. I don't know. Love you, XOXO, amen, Amy. I was waiting for someone to tell me who I was gonna be. I thought that person was gonna be God. Not that we had a correspondence going. I was waiting to see if I'd been good enough to earn the things I wanted to have in my life. Animals, relationships, creative successes, maybe some low-key, keeping it humble, still serving you Jesus fame. I was pretty sure that that fame was how my 7th grade self thought she was gonna meet and marry Daniel Radcliffe. That ship hasn't sailed yet. If good things were gonna happen to me or anyone else, it had to be because 1, I waited, and 2, I earned it by being good or sorry. Either. I waited a really long time. To be fair, I'm still waiting for Daniel Radcliffe. Instead, my mom ended up moving us again when I was in 8th grade, so 2004, towards the end of these journal entries. I lost my friends, my hobbies, pretty much a world for an 8th grader. My grades dropped, I fell into a depression and consumed pretty much all of my high school experience. I got into fights, stopped taking photos. People in high school knew me as an angry person. I even stopped talking to God. Moving to Cincinnati, Ohio will do that to you. 2 years after I started this prayer book in 2002, I wrote to God in 2004. God, sorry I forgot to end this. It's just hard to write to you. Just wanted to clear that up. Amy. I dumped God. I don't have many entries in 8th grade, obviously not as many written to our Sky Daddy. And Instead, I found a letter that a 13-year-old me decided to write to a 16-year-old version of herself. So I swapped God for myself. I heard the awe. It's a little sad, but it gets better. Dear Shyler, 16, how's your life? Do you still scratch yourself, hate yourself, wish you were dead? Oh, well, it's your choice in life. Shyler, 13. She's very libertarian about it. She's like, I don't know. Like, you make your own decisions. If it helps anything, it's also worth noting I wrote this on my favorite Eeyore stationery from when I was in 5th grade. So slightly less morbid. Because look, Eeyore's happy for the first time ever. As far as I can tell, 16-year-old Shyler never wrote back. What I did find tucked away was something different, a packing list for the first trip I ever took abroad when I was 15. 1 carry-on, 1 suitcase, small bottle of liquid detergent, and the note to pack smart. Also some notes on travel and behavior, drink plenty of water, respect your drivers, and if you're lost, stay where you are. I still don't drink water, but hey, at least I tried. It was on there. All of this came about because through a grassroots fundraising campaign, I was able to fund a trip through People to People student ambassadors. I went to France, Italy, and Greece, and was embroiled in teen drama the whole time. I hated it, and I wouldn't be who I am without it. For once, I, Amy Shyler Cunningham, and my community made something happen. Let's suck on that, God. Sure, some folks can spin that like God works in mysterious ways. Santa Claus comes once a year, after all. If it's anything, God to me now is collective action and community, and what we do for each other, and maybe some hallucinogenic drugs. Throw that in there. Instead of waiting for God to confirm my future, I started to take a more participatory role in my own story. I don't have any calicos, but I do have cats. I don't have published books, movie roles, fame, or a fashion line, but I have my art, my Dungeons and Dragons, and my baking. Thank you. And who knows about Daniel Radcliffe? We'll just have to see. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Timothy. Mine is kind of X-rated, and please understand it all happened a long time ago. I just need to get that out of the way. I'm going to talk about breakups. So breakups are hard, of course, because you can lose somebody directly, you can lose somebody even indirectly from somebody else's breakup. I'm gonna read you some letters from high school, some post-breakup letters that I didn't send to their intended receivers. Yeah. I'm glad you're on my side with this. So in terms of why it is I didn't send them, in high school I tended to be an introverted guy, even more so a non-confrontational type of guy. So when I felt like something needed to be said, it wasn't unusual for me to write it down and then ultimately not take the last step in sharing it or saying it out loud. And yeah, I had a hard time being vulnerable. So that resulted in a lot of bottled up energy, some of which came out in the form of my hair, for instance. Oh, good timing. Wonderful. And other times it came out in the way I behaved too, because in high school I was kind of a troublemaker. I went to an all-boys private high school in central Massachusetts, and I happened to do well there academically by day. And by night, I was lighting things on fire with my friends and other cool stuff like that. Oh, yeah, So I think my school IDs offer a good high-level view of my development from being a sweet boy in middle school to becoming what my mother might describe as a total shithead later in high school. And along the way, I was trying out different identities and transgressing in different ways. In freshman year, I discovered punk rock music, obviously, and in sophomore year, I discovered cannabis. That's a little background on me. The first letter I'll read is one that I wrote to my sister's ex-boyfriend, my older sister's ex-boyfriend at the time. They had recently broken up. His name also happened to be Tim, and Tim was very much like an older brother, mentor figure to me. So when they broke up, I was just super bummed and super disappointed. He, as a mentor, kind of took me under his wing. He taught me about all kinds of things that a young kid should or should not know about: music, girls, hard alcohol. And when I lost him, I was really bummed out. I wrote him this letter intending to attach it to a box of CDs that he had once lent me because he was kind of indoctrinating me into his taste in classic rock music. So this is the letter I was trying to write to him to rekindle our relationship. Tim, what's going on, man? This is Tim, Reagan's little brother from a few years ago. I thought I'd write you a letter and send the attached. I was cleaning out my room and I found these CDs. But anyway, beside that, I was just wondering what's going on. I straight up miss kicking it with you, man. I remember one time we were talking over the phone. You were drunk, so you might not remember. You basically taught me everything I needed to know about getting in a girl's pants. I pretty much do everything you said, and that shit works just about every time. You got me drunk for the first time. That was nuts. I've been selling a shitload of liquor to high school kids. It's awesome. Forget dealing hard shit. It's all about dealing liquor. Have you been watching The Sopranos? I haven't. I like that Meadow bitch, though. A few friends and I have a rap group. We're nuts. I should send you some of my material. Anyway, I guess that's a little update if you care. I straight up miss you being around, man. Maybe we could have lunch or something together sometime. Thanks for reading this. Enjoy your music. So, I'm a different person now. I love animals and, care about people. You know, I'm like... If anyone from my employer's HR department is here tonight, I'll gladly accept your calendar invite tomorrow. So when I read that, a lot of stuff comes to mind. I mean, I'm trying to be 5 different things at once, which is an ongoing project for me. I do remember selling alcohol. I think I stand by the idea, to be honest with you. I feel like it was kind of entrepreneurial in a certain way. It's not the worst thing I've come up with, I believe. And my view of girls and how I related to them was limited, let's say, as you may have picked up from my sentiments about Meadow. And so I took it on as a project in high school. I was trying to get a real relationship going. And in fact, a few years went by and I was able to pull together my first real relationship with a girl. Her name was Katie. And Katie and I dated for the latter half of high school until eventually she would naturally become my first ex-girlfriend, as it goes. And so the next letter that I'll read is to Katie just after we broke up, really quite shortly after we broke up. I never sent it to her. And the last thing to know is that I happened to be traveling with my high school French club in France. And so it starts on the plane ride over, and then in Paris, and then gradually as I'm working my way down to southern France. I might take a quick sip of water if you don't mind. In just one moment, please. Thank you. Need to just brace myself for what's next. Dear Katie, I bet you weren't expecting this, huh? I'm on a plane right now. You'll have to excuse the poor penmanship. Lots of turbulence. I was getting worried about it until my Indian friend Shobit told me that it's nothing. He flies to India often, so I trust him. My teacher said to get some sleep on the plane, but I can't really fall asleep thinking about you. So I thought I'd write you a letter. The traveler next to me has been thinking about other beautiful women too. In fact, he's looking at pornography. There are two kids in the back of me. By the way, I have a window seat. Hee, lucky me. Anyway, these two guys look like college kids, maybe seniors. They're blonde, fit, and a little on the skinny side. They seem like they're into water sports. Don't ask me why, they just do. They're possibly gay. I mean, two cute guys together on a plane to Paris. I think you'd agree. Most of all, they remind me of Leonardo DiCaprio in The Beach. In any case, I'm probably wrong about Dan and Zach. I've decided that those are their names. When I arrive in France, I will have been up for more than 24 hours. At least the French have good cafes. Coffee and you are some of the few things that keep me up. Hey, are you still gonna stay up to talk to me this summer? I really hope so. I love talking to you. I'll tell you all about my trip when I get back. Monday night when we broke up, I should note. I must admit, it kind of came as a surprise. I feel like you consulted other people more than you even talked to me before you made these decisions. I remember I used to ask you if I was a sucky boyfriend, and you'd say no. If you just told me seriously about the way that I acted, I would have changed. Remember when I never used to kiss you and you'd always remind me afterwards? You'd tell me carpe diem. Well, stuff like that really does get to me a lot. I keep thinking about all the times that I ignored you for no reason. Jesse's party, Brian's party. I wish I never did that. I feel like an asshole. I'd say I love you, but you probably don't love me anymore by now. You've made me cry 3 times, I think. A few days pass. I'm further down southern France now. Hello again, Katie. Sorry, I fell asleep riding on the train. Today is my 7th day. It's going by very fast, as is this bus. Note the turbulence again. I'm on my way to Nice with all of the beautiful beaches and stuff. My friend bought a souvenir for himself, French pornography. Interesting, you can buy anything down here. Lighters, cigars, cigarettes, bags of tobacco, pornography, knives, swords even. I went into this knife shop and they had a crossbow. I almost bought it, but I had to get on the bus that was leaving. Another thing about pornography here. There's softcore on TV all the time at night. It was kind of cool the first night or two, but you kind of get used to it. Like, the nude beaches we go to aren't even that amazing. You see boobs, but it's not very exciting. You're just like, oh, okay. I thought it'd be different. Anyway, I was talking about women. A few more days have passed. Yes, they're gorgeous here. I talked to one of my French chaperones about their undeniable overall attraction. We came to a few conclusions. 1, they get a lot of exercise just from walking every day. 2, they have a healthy diet. 3, they only eat 3 meals a day, no snacks and stuff. When I go back to America, it's going to be difficult to adjust to the girls. My standards have been raised drastically. Wow. Don't get me wrong, you're gorgeous, Katie. I guess it's the populace as a whole that's not up to the French par. You would fit in here, though. Wow. Okay. Yeah, so that's embarrassing. Yeah, I guess when I read those letters, a lot of things come to mind. What I think about, though, most is I wish I had sent them, in fact, strangely. I don't think it was so useful for me to have just kept to myself in the ways that I did, as unskilled as I was. And I'll tell you, nowadays, I still write letters, and I do send them. And I happen to have taken up a personal practice of writing letters to people in my life, friends and mentors especially. And I won't read them, but these are some of those letters. In terms of the writing, I write to tell people what they mean to me. And I don't wait for an occasion like a breakup. I do it just when I feel. So this went from me talking about pornography to whatever this is. But yeah, I'm grateful to Mortified because I happen to have read my unsent letter some years ago, and it got me activated or unstuck in certain ways. I like to put craft into my letters. I love physically making them, and of course, I'll mention girls are part of my letter writing nowadays insofar as I'm able to capture one's attention. Although, admittedly, my communication style and ability with writing to girls is limited. This is a letter that I sent to a girl who I was dating briefly last year. This was my way of saying happy birthday to her. I would say I didn't write it so much as I meticulously assembled it over the course of 3 very long days. And not that you need me to tell you, but she decided to move on. And yeah, that's okay, but strangely, I happened to be in France again just a few weeks later, 20 years since my first trip. And so there I was again a few months ago in France, smoking cigarettes, still unmoved by softcore, and thinking about a relationship. Thank you.
Paperback writer.
Paperback writer. Will you read my book? It took me years to write. Will you take a look? It's based on a novel by a man named Lear, and I need a job, so I wanna be a paperback writer. Paperback writer.
Hi, everybody. Oh, shit. My heart's going to beat right out of my chest. Hi, everybody. I'm Joni. That's 16-year-old Joni. I'm from a tiny little town in northern Michigan called Sheboygan. Not Sheboygan, Wisconsin. There's another one that no one's ever heard of, that one. Throughout high school, I grappled with not knowing where I fit in, desperately wanting to leave my tiny hometown. My obsession with rock stars and my very hot and cold feelings for my very first love and first heartbreak. We'll call him Alan. I started documenting my feelings for Alan in this journal freshman year of high school. He lived in the next town over, so we didn't go to school together. He was cute, quirky, magnetic. He loved music just like me. And here is a poem I wrote freshman year after one of our very first hangs. I titled it, Be Real, Be True, Rendezvous. Oh, boy. He was so nervous, or was he? Let me in, Alan, let me in. I'd like to get to know you. After I was home, I felt a piece of you with me. Not just your sweater, smelling good still, but your mind or your heart. Oh, I don't know. I like you, but you seem too good to be real. Your words stir my mind. Your passion leaves me blind. Did I fall for you or away from you? Damn these stupid symbols. Symbolism. Symbols. So deep. The very next day, I just told my mom that if Alan calls to please come get me. And then I came upstairs, smelled his sweater, turned on the radio, and it was Blind Melon's Rain. It was all just this big circle of irony. I didn't know what that meant, clearly. So weird. He loves Blind Melon. I love that song. Rain, rain, rain. Rain, Alan, and Blind Melon all over me. A couple of months of hanging later, and I was really starting to catch feelings for Alan. We were hanging out a lot, but weren't official yet. I was confused about our relationship status, and I just wanted to live the romantic, exciting adult life I'd always imagined, even if I wasn't actually doing any of those adult things yet. What the fuck is wrong with this whole fucking world? So what if I want to have sex or smoke or drink or have fun? They don't know what they're fucking talking about. I need to vent. This is bullshit. Oh, and what's up with these fucking guys? So Alan thinks he's the shit now, huh? Well, that's just great. He can take a big lick. His Is he too good for me or something? God, they can all just leave me alone. The very next day, why won't he call me? Does he hate me? I don't hate him. I'm so naive. It's all right, though. I'll see him sometime soon. Right now, I've got my music, my futon, and my future, full of travel, computers, lovers, and mochas. As it turns out, Alan didn't hate me. By sophomore year of high school, we had been official for a while and were going pretty strong. But that didn't stop me from crushing on some famous musicians in the privacy of my journal. February 17th, 1997, my 16th birthday, I made myself a custom t-shirt with Billy Joe Armstrong's hot face on it to wear to school today. His hair is bright blue and spiky, and he is so hot. We have the same exact birthday, and he's only 9 years older than me. I'm so in love with him. My love for rock stars extended beyond just looks, though. I was really searching for emotional intimacy, too. April 1997. You know, this will sound goofy and shit, but I wish I was friends with Beck. I don't care how stupid it sounds. I don't want him or anything. I mean, he's not a teen idol or a heartthrob or any of that. But I would love to just get to know him and be friends. Even if I could just say, hey, what's cooking, Beck? What's cooking? I'd be happy. You know, the kind of friend that actually tells you when you have food in your teeth. And you can walk around in just a bra and they won't freak out. Yeah, that kind of friend. That summer, I did find more intimacy in the real world as my relationship with Alan progressed. Okay. The following entry is a recap of losing my virginity in the passenger seat of my 1985 Volkswagen Golf in July of 1997. This entry is titled, take a sip of my life, okay? This entry was titled, And the Pureness is Lost. Alan and I did it on the shores of Lake Michigan tonight. Under the stars, it was so romantic. But we were very cramped in the front passenger seat of my car. Alan played the new Ween album, The Mollusk, which I love. But I was a little weirded out by the song Mutilated Lips while we were doing it. That song is so beautiful, but so creepy. But that's Ween. It did hurt a bit, but I can see it getting better eventually. I still like him going down on me the best. Oh boy. That summer, things seemed great, and Alan and I were inseparable throughout the next year. But just when I thought things couldn't get any better, as Beck would say, I started feeling like a loser, baby. At the end of summer 1998, Alan left for college. We had been together for over 2 years at this point, but I had to stay behind as a senior in high school. And if you can believe it, a few months after he left, Alan called and broke up with me, telling me he'd met another girl and that he needed space to explore now that he was in college. January 13th, 1999, 10 reasons my life is falling apart. Number 1, Alan. Number 2, my crap car. We really did a number on that car. Number 3, no money. Number 4, flat out depression. Number 5, too many questions. Number 6, no answers. Number 7, fear of the unknown. Number 8, bad grades. Number 9, stupid school. Number 10, Alan. My life before Alan broke up with me was perfect. Now nothing is good. To have the one person I love like that more than anything not love me back makes me want to die. He doesn't even realize what he's done to me. This has had an enormous impact on my overall well-being. But regardless of my uncertainty of the future, at least I still had my rock star boyfriends. February 1999. I always want what I can't have. Alan, Nate, and worst of all, Tom York. I'm so in love with him. I wish I could meet him. I wonder what he's like in person. He's so hot, and our lazy eyes would complement each other so well. I really thought that if he saw me and knew that I also had one, we're soulmates. Uh-oh, sorry, my ransom note's falling apart. Okay. After graduation, I went off to college and gained a new perspective on my former love, Alan. Well, Alan is a pizza delivery boy now, and that makes me laugh. Still too good for me, huh? God's gift to women, a pizza delivery boy. I suppose I'm bitter, but it feels so good to be over him. I wasn't. What a fucking prick. But I'm still very lonely. Mom says he'll find me, but who is he and when? April 5th, 2000. New millennium, new me. Through that first year of college, I slowly got over my failed romance with Alan and fell in love with new people, new places, and started trying to love myself. This entry's from that spring. This weekend, I went on a trip to West Virginia with Lindsay and Nicole to go whitewater rafting. I had the time of my life. I met a guy named Matt, 22, in the Army, pierced tongue, very handsome. And we messed around a lot. I've fallen in love again, finally. No, not with Matt, but with nature. And with rafting. My tentative plan now is to move to West Virginia sometime in the next 2 to 3 years to become a river guide and a massage therapist. I'm not too concerned with everyone saying that West Virginia is full of hillbillies, inbreds, and degenerates, because it's really beautiful. I'm sorry, I love you, West Virginia. I never moved to West Virginia, but I did eventually make it out of Michigan into the big city, like I always dreamed. And I found my path in life, not as a river rafting guide or as a massage therapist, but as an accounting assistant and a yoga teacher. Old Irving Park Yoga and Pilates, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Guarantee my classes are just as awkward as this right now. So here we are in 2024. My 43rd birthday is in 3 days, and I'm happy to report that even though it took me another 20-some years, I did finally find the love of my life. And his name is Dave. He's somewhere over here. I can't see anything. And he's a hot drummer, you guys. And my very own rock star. Thank you, everyone. Happy Valentine's Day.
Mutilated lips, give a kiss on the lips of a worm like tentacles. Spinning in my mind, I'm fine, except the only fresh find. Through the list of this, yeah, you wish.
Hi. My name is Devin. Growing up in the suburbs of Nashville, Tennessee, I had a high school sweetheart named Maddie. We loved to write notes to each other. We loved to generally be sappy teens. And in our sophomore year of 2008, we had a study hall together in which we had to be completely silent. Our way of wasting that time, instead of actually doing schoolwork, was to write notes back and forth. After high school graduation, Maddie presented me with a binder. Maddie presented me with a binder full of our notes, letters, birthday cards, anything else that we collected to document our relationship. Even though we broke up after trying a long-distance relationship our freshman year of college, I kept that binder for over 14 years. I'd like to read you some excerpts from that binder, but since the majority of this was penned by my former high school girlfriend, it would be better with her help. Please welcome Maddie to the stage.
Hi. I'm Maddie, the former high school girlfriend, and I'm going to read this first note. Devin, wow. It seems much longer than 3 months. You've already seen me at my best and at my worst. After the drama, the tears, the 3-hour talks, we are as close as ever. I love you, baby. Madison.
After dating for about 7 months, we had our study hall note passing down to a science. This note is titled 7 Months, Oh Heaven. Yes, I titled it, and yes, those block letters are mine. We will read from our individual perspectives. I love your body, and you.
Where's your mind?
Right here, 5 places. I'm scatterbrained when I'm happy.
Good. I heart you.
Good. I heart you too. You're so beautiful. I've never been this happy with someone. I love you.
Me too. So, what's up?
My love for you is what's up.
Really? Where?
No, what I mean is the pool of love I have for you is overflowing by 200 million miles. This note also introduced Maddie's comic strips to our note passing. Happy 7 months, baby girl.
What are you talking about? We've only been together for 5 months.
What?
I kid.
Yes, Maddie, you are a kid, an adorable, beautiful, amazing baby girl.
No, silly. I mean, I was kidding.
You mean it is our 7th month?
Yeah.
I love you.
I love you so much, Devin. The end. Sophomore year, we had an ongoing bet that Devin eventually lost. Neither of us can recall what the bet was, but what we do know is that I won. And as a reward, I demanded 300 kisses. And I even kept a log. Yes, I wrote the numbers 1 through 300 and crossed them off as Devin kissed me.
I knocked them all out in 3 days. Senior year, Maddie sent me a card that came with a metal token good for 1 free hug. The note read,
I have been so blessed to have you as part of my life. I love you very much, Maddie.
I proceeded to put the token on a chain and wear it around my neck for a total of 2 years. even though the cheap metal chain turned my neck green. This included me wearing it for a full year after we broke up. We didn't really talk for a while after that.
But in 2014, 4 years later, when I came back home after undergrad, Devin and I reconnected as friends. And when I moved to England for grad school in 2015, we maintained our correspondence through postcards and letters.
Anytime I got mail from Maddie over the following 4 years, I would add it to our binder, but this time to document our friendship. While we were preparing for this show, I revealed for the first time that I was planning on proposing to Maddie the night of our high school graduation. But I ultimately chickened out.
I clearly had some sense of this myself because I drew this comic our junior year.
Maddie? Maddie?
Yes.
Hey, Maddie, hey, I've got something to tell you. What? Maddie, can you please stop running? Okay, I need to ask, wait, how'd you get on this side? Anyway, I need to ask you something. Will you marry me? Pow.
Ouch. The end. Yes.
But I would never get the chance to propose to Maddie.
Because after we started dating again in 2018, yes, we got back together, I proposed to Devin. We've been living together in Chicago ever since, and we celebrated 3 years of marriage this past December. I still write notes to Devin.
And I still keep them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm giving you a longing look every day, every day, every day, every day I write the book. Every day, every day, every day, every day, every day I write the book.
Dwight and Jeff, everybody. Hey, thank you all for coming tonight. What a freaking awesome night this was. I've got some end of show housekeeping before we say goodbye to everybody. So first of all, Mortified is a podcast. Check us out on your favorite podcatching app of choice. Possibly you will hear someone from tonight on the podcast. I don't know. I don't produce the podcast, but that'd be pretty cool. And these stories were awesome. If you want to know more about Mortified Chicago, you can follow us on social media. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram at Mortified Chicago. We're not on Twitter anymore because it's really bad now. I'm sure you guys understand. But props to WBEZ for sticking it out. I'm not going back on there. So listen, all those people you saw on stage tonight, that could be you. If you have stuff you would like to share with a loving, wonderful audience like yourself, you can go to getmortified.com/participate to submit your own teenage artifacts. We have a couple more shows coming up this year, and we would love to have you in them. So, this show was produced by me. I'm Eric Garneau with WBEZ. Thank you. If you want to follow me, you can go to @EricCGarneau on Instagram. I heard someone woo for Dungeons & Dragons. I actually do like some RPG module publishing as well. If that's your speed, go find me. I've got a Kickstarter up for like 12 more hours. All right, right on. It's turning a John Steinbeck novel into a Fabula Ultima module. If that makes any sense to you, awesome. If not, that's okay. Our story producers for tonight are Brianne Johnson, Allison Schoenfeld, Marnie Schur, and Mary Z. They helped these folks put together what they were saying on stage tonight. Could not do this without them. They're all wonderful. Our music producer is Dwight Hassler. Our percussionist, Jeff LaRoe. They are in an awesome band whose music you can go by called Grey Ghost. Their second album, their first full length, is just about finished. That's the cover of their EP. They're kind of like a hard rock punk band with like They Might Be Giant style, like puzzle lyrics. Really, really good. Highly recommend them. Grey Ghost is the band. Once again, thank you to the Athenaeum Center and WBEZ. One of the great joys of doing this show, and I mean this completely sincerely, is that we get to be in some of the loveliest venues in Chicago. Athenaeum is no different, and the staff has been so kind and gracious to us. Thank you very much to the Athenaeum staff and to Eddie Madrano and everyone at WBEZ. We really appreciate you. So, with that said, our next show, which is now on sale, is Saturday, May 18th at the Studebaker Theater. If you would like to buy tickets now, you can scan that little code. It's going to be a good time. It's our second time at the Studebaker, another lovely venue. We're really excited to be there. So with all that said, we have the most important piece of business left. We have to talk about what have we learned this evening, okay? From Schuyler, we learned that talking to Tom Cruise would be very pleasant, like enjoying a blast of unthinkable pleasure slowly through a straw. Woo! Come on up. Come on closer. From Schuyler, we learned that writing anything on Eeyore stationery makes it seem not quite so bad. You guys are so generous with your applause. We love it. From Timothy, we learned that you can buy anything in France. Swords even. Woo! I want swords. From Joni, we learned that actually having crushes on rock stars is a perfectly reasonable and dope thing to do. Hell yeah, Joni. And from Devin and Madison, for all of us resentful fucks in the audience tonight who may be stewing in our singleness, we learn that sometimes love works. The most important lesson of all. And most importantly, we learned we're all freaks, we're all fragile, and we all survived. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. Have a wonderful evening. Happy Valentine's Day. Take a bow, everybody.